Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. This is one of those videos I should probably do that disclaimer to begin with. These are just the ramblings of one senile, crazy old man. Take them or leave them. Figured I better do that because this is a very passionate subject with some today. Personally, I don't get the whole passion behind these things. They're topics, it's food. I'm going to leave you with this, and you might get a little annoyed with it. If you get really emotional, upset, passionate, discussing topics on food, you might benefit from looking into a little bit of therapy. Just my 2 cents. But today we're going to talk about detox on a raw food diet, my thoughts and some ideas of what to do. I do videos every day. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Click on the little bell and then check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Very important to check that little box. Yeah, like this is a very passionate topic. So if you're one of those hardcore, all you ever think about is detox, it's detox, 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 you might actually want to turn away now because you might not really like some of the things in here. As you know, if you've watched me, I'm just a little bit more pragmatic about these things. I'm not very emotional about any of these topics. It's just, I don't know. They just are what they are. They're things we're learning along the way. It's just hard for me to get overly passionate about them. Detox, a lot of what I'm going to talk about today, I have sort of a lot of the same philosophy that I do when it comes to healing. Number one is that the body's always detoxing, and that the body's a very remarkable machine, and we don't really have to do a whole lot when it comes to the detox process. In fact, food is not going to detox your body. The raw food diet is not going to cause your body to detox. Eating fruit is not going to cause your body to detox. It's what we're leaving out. It's us getting out of the way and letting the body do what it is supposed to do, which is what I could say about most things. Our body knows what it needs to do, and we don't need to help it all that much. We just need to stop, get out of the way, and let the energy be directed in the right direction. I get this question, I get all the time, well, Jack, something's happening to me. I think it's probably, is this detox? I don't know. Every time, and pardon my language, somebody farts when they start eating the raw food diet, and oh my God, I just had a symptom of detox. Every little thing that happens to your body, they want to attribute to detox. A lot of the stuff is simply this: you're not eating enough. I'm not eating enough. A lot of these symptoms, whatever, that people want to, oh, I'm getting this. This is detox, isn't it? Could be. Once again, I'm no expert on this. Your mileage may vary, but to me, it's not eating enough. That's what it was with me in the beginning. I was kind of into this groovy kind of woo-woo type feeling, and I was emotional a lot of the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is up with this raw food? Oh my goodness. I don't know and after a while I was like, it's not like I'm one of those people that feels like men shouldn't have emotions, but I'm like, God, why am I emotional? Why am I feeling so wonky all the time? Well, and also too, every time I stood up, I would have head rush. I'd get a little bit dizzy. I figured out I just wasn't eating enough. Problem solved. As soon as I started eating again and getting nutrients into my body and not having low blood sugar, boom, I was okay. Well, I still had a lot to learn. I wasn't saying, okay, everything was perfect after that, but that pretty much went away. A lot of, all the time, detox is one of those subjects that's all people talk about. There's groups that are devoted to this. Oh, and also too, before I get in there, I have to make all these disclaimers or people get a little butthurt out there. There are certain things, there are certain conditions, just like healing, that are a little bit trickier when it comes to healing, when it comes to detox. Just one, and I know very, very, very little. My information on this particular health issue is minute, but I do know with like Lyme disease, because I have a couple of friends that have pretty much gone into remission, gotten rid of most of their symptoms on Lyme, but it's a continual ongoing thing. Lime, I kind of understand. I understand and I don't understand their process. I understand the big picture of that they need that is more of a continual process, and they do have to kind of keep detoxing for these biofilms that are in the body when you have the Lyme disease. But for most things, this detox, if you were talking detox a year ago and you're still talking it now, you might want to do a little bit of investigation, a little bit of studying and whatever. Especially now, if we're talking 2 and 3 years, I see people that I've been connected to on social media that are just hardcore. All their talk is about detox, and they were detoxing. You know, all their talk was about doing this or doing that detox 2 or 3 years ago. Well, you know what's up? At some point, your body's going to clear itself out, and you know you just move on. What I consider it's a lot of stuff. Well, people like to belong. It's fun. You know, those groups are very active. Detox groups are very active. A lot of people there, a lot of stuff, a lot of back and forth, a lot of interaction in the threads. And a lot of times I think people are lonely. They don't do this lifestyle with anybody else, and they're just really desperate to talk about anything to do with raw food diet, natural health, natural healing, detox, and whatever. And I want to throw a term out there. It kind of, to me, a lot of the stuff dealing with detox mimics mass hysteria. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of liberties with this term and the definition of it. But here's what mass hysteria is. In sociology and psychology, mass hysteria is a phenomenon that transmits collective illusions of threats, whether real or imaginary, through a population and society as a result of rumors and fear. Okay, not necessarily, you see where I'm kind of taking liberties there. It's not like illusions of threat, but illusions of, oh, if you don't do this, you're going to have this problem. In medicine, the term is used to describe the spontaneous manifestation of the same or similar hysterical symptoms by more than one person. I.e., people read that. They hear about these symptoms, and everybody kind of works themselves up and they get going, and it's like, well, I have that too. It's just, you know, stop dramatizing this detox and making more of it than what it is. Like I say, just my opinion on it. Now, my personal thoughts on this, and there's no scientific basis from this other than just experimentation, what I've actually felt, is that, yeah, we can jumpstart our detox. Like, you know, even sometimes if I've eaten a particular way, like when I was in the States and I would go back to Costa Rica, I do kind of like to shake off the effects of not eating it what I consider my optimal, like I did down there. And even in the beginning, and even for anybody, I would recommend some, you know, just a little bit of a period that's not necessarily how you're going to eat for the rest of your life, just to kind of, you know, get used to it. Let your body adapt. Let your body start cleaning out and cleaning house from the way you've lived, from that standard American diet in the past. But then again, it just depends on how long, like, are you in this for the long haul? How are you approaching it? Because, look, we always hear people, and it's so popular for people to say, well, this is our natural way of eating, and this is natural this is natural that, natural, 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 natural. Well, once again, I think I give our body, this magnificent machine, a lot more credit than most people do. I think you could just start eating a version of the raw food diet, and over the course of time, for most people, for most normal, healthy people without any serious conditions, just by going from that heavy animal product laden standard American diet to our lighter way of eating, just eating, you know, a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, not eating so much fat, just a simple version of this lifestyle, your body would correct itself and even out in time anyway. But like I say, if you want to, there's no harm in going a little bit cleaner. Now, what I like to do, you know, if you've watched me for very long, I'm not much on the feasting and the fasting and all that. I just like to clean things up and get it down to really that simple level. What I like to do when I feel like, and I don't, like I say, I really don't hate using the term, but when I feel like I'm not necessarily detoxing, but cleaning myself up after a less than optimal period, I generally just like to go very high fruit, low fat. no fat actually during the cleansing periods. A lot of times when I'd go back to Costa Rica after a period in the States, a couple of weeks in the States, it would be mostly fruit. No fat, no overt fats added for a while. So that's when you're going to really see it. And that's when I would get amped up. Sometimes I would get to this point, and hang with me here for a minute because it'll do two different things. Here's how you slow down your detox, and here's how I would kind of like take myself down from this high, because a lot of times after, say, 3 weeks or so of just eating mostly fruit, some salads at night, but when I'm saying mostly fruit, my diet looked like this. And there were a lot of mono meals in there. It would be like, say, a mono meal of mangoes, then a mono meal of papaya. Maybe by noon, I'm having like a couple of things mixed together, like bananas and mangoes. Then I would have a green smoothie with a bit of some greens in there. It wasn't all fruit. And then at dinner would usually be a big salad, but with a fruit-based dressing, like mango and red pepper. That was my go-to. So there would be very little fat in there, and the greens, in one green smoothie and in one salad. Now, if you're on detox, or what I would do after about 3 weeks when I was just zinging with energy so much to where I was like, okay, I got to take this down a level or two. If you're just doing the fruit, you add the greens in. Adding the greens to just doing fruit will slow down, puts the brakes on. You'll probably go from 60, 70 miles an hour. You'll go down to the 40 to 45 mile an hour range. I'm just being silly there. I don't know exactly the proportions, but then if you really want to put the brakes on a little bit, you add some fat in there. Play with those avocados. Add half an avocado in there. If that's not slowing it down enough, add another in there. But I used to play with it like that. It was always about the fruit, then adding greens, then adding some fat in there. And the more I played around with that, I found, I could always find my balance. And that would be my little version of cleansing. And I would say that I don't call it detox for myself, but I think people could apply that to detox. It seems like you're doing more, and it's really, people, like I say, love to do a juice feast or a juice fast or a fast of some sort, but there's a lot of cleansing value to the body in mono meals. If you're a detoxer, or if you're interested in detox, or you're just trying to clean your body out a little bit, eat. And this way you're getting those calories in. The fruit's going through you. I'm telling you, when I'm eating nothing but fruit, I'm just like a monkey. That stuff's just passing through me. So you'll be able to tell that you're, it marginally. And once again, let me go back to that healing pyramid from the other day. I do believe in juice feasting and juice fasting and in water fasting for certain purposes. But for your average person, to sum all this up, I know I'm jumping around a lot and this isn't a very detailed video about detox. To sum all of it up, people are just making too much out of this one specific thing. Let's go back to our philosophy again. This is a natural lifestyle. We're trying to go back from eating like what's not natural, just going back to a more natural way of living. So if you have certain problems and you do need to detox, then detox. But don't get caught up in it. Don't get caught up in that mess hysteria and just fall into this trap of it's always about detox. There's some people that I've just never heard them talk about anything other than detox. So anyhow, that's my thoughts on the subject. I know detox is kind of a controversial thing. People like to say there is no such thing as detox. I think they're basically saying what I just said, though. I don't think they mean there's no such thing as detox. They just mean that the body knows how to detox itself, and you're not actually detoxing your body, or the food's not actually detoxing your body. So hope this was of some help whatsoever and not just too convoluted. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Love you. Peace.